Hey everyone, it's Alex, and I am back with a special 40-second People's Choice Awards video. As you can see by the title on the video, today is the day that I am casting my votes for this year's People's Choice Awards, which will be aired on Wednesday, January 6th at 9 p.m. on Eastern Time on CBS. And the People's Choice Awards, although the nominees aren't always the best that you could hope for, the the one good thing about this show is that not only are the nominees chosen by uh, the general public, but so are the winners. Although in my case, the people, shows, and movies and music that I want to win often don't win because they're often what's not the most popular. Because a lot of the times, whatever's the most popular ends up winning, and of course that makes sense because this is about this is kind of this is a chance to see what appeals the most to the general American public right now. But for me, whenever I vote for these things, I always vote for what I think is the most deserving to win, even if it's not the most popular, or even if it doesn't have the slightest chance in hell of winning. But, the People's Choice Awards has been known to pleasantly surprise me from time to time in terms of who ends up winning something. So, today I'm going to cast my votes and we'll see what happens. Now, I apologize for not getting this up earlier because I've been very, very busy lately with work and everything else in between. But now that I'm on Thanksgiving break, this is the perfect time for me to make this. I wish I could have made it earlier because I think voting in most categories closes next week, December 3rd, I believe. So I'll post a link in the video description box so that way you can vote for the People's Choice Awards yourselves while the voting is still open. I think after December 3rd, voting will still be open in some of the big categories like favorite movie, but for like favorite actor, favorite actress, etc., the voting will close after that date. So there's a limited window open. Make sure you use that opportunity to vote for your favorites. Alright, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to start the voting process, and the good thing is you can choose whatever fields you want to vote in at whatever time. They don't force you to vote in a certain order. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to vote for the categories in the same order that I announced them in my People's Choice Awards nominations video. If you need a refresher on what the nominations are, I'll also have a link to that. I'll also post a link to that video down in the video description box. Alright, let's get started with the digital categories. Alright, and then I have to click on which one to start with. Favorite social media celebrity. Okay. Now, admittedly, for a lot of these, I kind of just close my eyes on my nomination sheet that I have next to me where I have my answers so I know who to vote for, and I'll just pick the one that my pen randomly landed on. So for favorite social media celebrity, I will vote for Beyonce. For favorite social media star, I will vote for Matt Bellassai, or I'm not sure if that's how you pronounce his name or not. Apparently he's like a big writer for the website BuzzFeed. I do like BuzzFeed. I don't go on it all the time, but when I have gone on it, I've liked it. So if there's any BuzzFeed fans who are very well known with this guy's work, if I mispronounce his name, please let me know. I'm very sorry if I did. For favorite mobile game, alright. I guess I'll vote for Fruit Ninja. That's what I randomly landed on. Oh, there we go. Alright, I just found the title very fascinating and I can just imagine them using their ninja swords or just karate skills to just chop any fruit there is. Favorite video game. Okay. I apologize if my camera shakes a little because it's a very small camera and I'm holding it with one hand while operating the mouse with the other. Favorite video game? I'm not really a video game person, so I just picked whatever my pen randomly landed on, and then it ended up being Minecraft, so I'll vote for that. Because keep in mind, I'm voting for every single category, even if I know nothing about it, or even if I don't like any of the people in it. If that's the case, I'll just vote for the one I think is the least worst, if that makes any sense. For favorite YouTube star, I'll vote for Miranda Sings. I hear she's really funny. Whoop, didn't it? I'll try that again. There we go. Uh-oh. There we go. Alright, and then the last category in the digital section, the DailyMail.com Seriously Popular Award. I went on in my last video about how I just think the name of the category itself is incredibly stupid. I guess for this one, well, the only one I'm really, I mean, I've certainly heard of many of these people. I know Bella Thorne was like a big Disney Channel star, and of course Kylie Jenner is from the Kardashian-Jenner family. I'd never really heard of Maddie Ziegler, that one right there, but apparently she was on that TV show Dance Moms, and apparently she was in that music video for the Sia song Chandelier. Ruby Rose, no idea who she is at all. Cara Delevingne, I'll vote for her because I actually thought she did I know she's more famous for modeling, but I know she's stepping out into acting. I actually thought she was surprisingly good in the movie Paper Towns, where she played the female lead, and of course next year she's going to be in the upcoming superhero movie Suicide Squad, so we'll see how she does there. Okay. Alright, now it's time to go on to the music categories. Here we go. Starting off with favorite male artist. Ugh. Alright, well, for me, this is a pretty easy one. Ed Sheeran, to me, is easily the best of the 5 nominees here, so he gets my vote. Because unlike almost all the other artists on this list, like Justin Bieber, Ed Sheeran not only uses an instrument like a guitar when he performs, but he actually writes most of his own songs, unlike Bieber, who often has 5 or 6 producers write his songs for him, and who just dances rather than plays instruments. Alright, favorite female artist. Well, out of these, Madonna's been making music since before any of the other 4 nominees were even born. And, the fact that she's still just pretty much almost as popular now as she was 30 years ago, I think that kind of makes her deserving of my vote here. So, alright, favorite group. Alright, well, admittedly I'm not a fan of most of these artists, particularly One Direction. I kind of used to like Maroon 5, but as I kept listening to their music, I just realized that Adam Levine's singing style really isn't for me, so they're not going to get my vote here. Admittedly, I've not heard too many of Imagine Dragons' music, but from what I have heard, I have liked, so for that reason, I'll vote for them. Alright. Favorite breakout artist. Okay. I've sort of heard of most of these, but my vote is going to go here to The Weeknd because out of all these nominees, he's received probably the most critical acclaim, and he's predicted to be a major contender when the Grammy nominations come out in like 2 weeks, I think. He's expected to get nominations in all the top categories, so so for that reason, I'll vote for him. Favorite country artist. Okay. Oh, favorite male country artist. My bad. Yep. Admittedly, I'm not a huge fan of country music, but from the nominees here, Keith Urban, I guess, is the one who I think is the least worst of the 5. Plus, he's married to Nicole Kidman, so that's always a bonus. So he'll get my vote. Alright. Stay tuned, we'll get back to voting in a moment. Alright, there we go. Favorite female country artist. This is a pretty easy one for me. I'm going to pick Carrie Underwood because, she's one of the most successful American Idol winners of all time, and the fact that she's still as popular now as she was when she won American Idol proves that sometimes American Idol viewers are wise when they're picking the winner. Favorite country group. All right. For this, I'm going to go with Lady Antebellum because they're like one of the few country artists whose songs will sometimes appear on my favorite rock radio station because some of their songs do have a rock crossover appeal, like Need You Now. I, yeah, my mouse just kind of randomly did that without me even trying to vote for them, but yep. Lady Antebellum gets my vote for favorite country group. Favorite pop artist. Kelly Clarkson for sure, because she not only is she the original American Idol, but the fact that she's still at the top of the charts now, 13 years later, proves that she had it from the beginning to be a great star. So she gets my vote. Favorite hip-hop artist. Alright, for this one, like country, I'm not really a big fan of rap music. But from what I have heard of Drake, I've sometimes been sort of impressed. Plus, I recognize Drake from the days he was an actor. Some of you might know this, but in case you don't, Drake used to be on the TV show Degrassi: The Next Generation, where he was credited under his real name, Aubrey Graham. He played this character named Jimmy Brooks, kind of a kid who, despite, coming from like a really wealthy family, was really nice, had a heart of gold, and was very smart because, a lot of times on TV shows, kids who come from wealthy families are often bitchy, selfish, shallow, materialistic. But Jimmy wasn't like that. And then, of course, one of the major storylines of Degrassi was when Jimmy gets shot in a school shooting and ends up getting paralyzed because the bullet hits his spinal cord. Of course, in real life, Drake is not paralyzed, but the paralyzation of his character Jimmy became not only a major turning point for the show, but it also gave him a greater chance to show off his acting abilities as we see Jimmy learn to readjust to life now that after having to be in a wheelchair 24/7. All right. Favorite R&B artist. Got to go with Janet Jackson here because she's an icon and she's been making music since probably before the other four nominees were even born. Alright. Favorite album. Admittedly, I haven't really heard too many of the songs from all these albums, but from the ones I have heard, Imagine Dragons has impressed me the most, so their album Smoke and Mirrors will get my vote. Favorite song. Alright, yeah. Justin Bieber, no, you automatically do not get my vote. See You Again. There are a lot of people I know who absolutely love this song. It of course was the song played at the end of Furious 7. It's not the worst song I've heard, but I feel it's a mediocre song in terms of trying to uh, portray grief and death. I've heard many songs that I think are far better, like I Grieve by Peter Gabriel, which I feel is the best song ever written about death and grief. You're Missing by Bruce Springsteen, I think, is my number 2. Those, in my opinion, would have been much better inclusions for Furious 7. People are like, but it doesn't fit the tone of the movie, because they're very long, slow ballads, both those songs, and this one, yeah, it's a ballad, but kind of has a faster tone because of Wiz Khalifa's rapping. But still, I mean, I just feel they didn't get quite. I just feel lyrically, Wiz Khalifa and Charlie Puth didn't get down enough to the emotional punch that a song about death and grief should be. Um, so that's why it's not getting my vote. And Love Me Like You Do, it's an okay song, but it's from the 50 Shades of Grey soundtrack, so no. uh, and and although I'm not necessarily a huge Taylor Swift fan, I actually do kind of like the song Bad Blood. Of course, is a duet between her and rapper Kendrick Lamar, who's probably the most critically acclaimed rapper in the music business right now. Um, and of course, this song is rumored to be about the feud between her and Katy Perry, because I guess I'm, I'm not sure how their feud started, but I think like one of them tried to steal the other's backup dancers for their tour. I think it was Katy Perry trying to steal Taylor Swift's dancers, but I don't know. I don't really care, but all I know is that Katy Perry and Taylor Swift, not only do they hate each other, but their fans hate each other, and this is kind of Taylor Swift's point of view of the feud in this song. And it is kind of catchy, and the fact that it's a successful singing rap crossover, which is very hard to do, I'll vote for that. And then finally, favorite music icon. Not a bad list from the people they got here, but I'm going to have to go with Paul McCartney on this because really I honestly don't think any of these other artists have had such a greater impact on the field of music as Paul McCartney. Stevie Wonder, I think, comes in very close, but with Paul McCartney, there's just it's very hard these days to find an artist who has not in some way been influenced by Paul McCartney. So, all right. Oh, now we're back to the digital categories. Nope, we already took care of that. Now it's time to go on to TV. Alright. Favorite TV show. Come on. There we go. Alright, favorite TV show. I'm going to have to go with The Big Bang Theory on this. I haven't really watched too much of The Walking Dead or Grey's Anatomy. I do like the voice. I've liked what I've seen of Game of Thrones, but I really need to sit down and like watch a whole season. I just haven't had time to. Plus, I don't get HBO, so anytime I have seen Game of Thrones, it's from like iTunes or something. So, but Big Bang Theory, I often, my family always likes to watch the new episodes or the reruns on, I think, TBS. So I've seen quite a lot of episodes of the show, and although I know there are some people who think all the characters are annoying, and I'd say, yeah, each character does have like one or two traits that can kind of push my buttons once in a while if it goes on and on, but for the most part, I do think they're all incredibly funny, and I think the show is still pretty good despite I think it's currently in its ninth season. So, and when you've had 9 seasons of a show, it's hard to keep it fresh and innovative without resorting to just constant old jokes that you've used in previous seasons. So, for that reason, Big Bang Theory will get my vote here. Favorite network TV comedy. From this, I'll have to pick Modern Family. I'm kind of surprised Modern Family didn't get in favorite TV show, but Modern Family, every episode, they always have some great stories, and it's always interesting to see one family's problem versus another family's problem, and seeing how each of the groups interact in a single episode always makes Modern Family worth watching. Alright. Favorite comedic actor. For this one, I'm easily going to pick Jim Parsons because how he manages to always deliver his lines as Sheldon, especially, when Jim Parsons himself he has said in real life he is not a science expert at all, and he's often talked a lot about how challenging it is to just say the words that Sheldon does, but he makes it look so effortless that, you wonder just how much he has to practice to get those lines right. So, Favorite comedic TV actress? And for this, I'm going to pick Sofia Vergara because, thankfully, despite her horrific performance in the movie Hot Pursuit earlier this year, which is still my #1 worst movie of 2015, she's still very funny on Modern Family, and with the antics that she does on Modern Family, her character Gloria, if not played right, could have become just an annoying, loud, whiny person. But from the way she manages to deliver her lines, you come you you come to really like Gloria, and you come to find the things she does funny, and you come to value her as a very vital character of the show, which she is. It's at this point, it's very hard to imagine what Modern Family would be like if Sofia Vergara's character Gloria had never been a part of the show. And let's hope she stays on with the show until the very end, which I'm sure she probably will. So, Sofia Vergara gets my vote. Favorite network TV drama? For this, it's easily How to Get Away with Murder, because Viola Davis is just, simply put, one of the best actresses working today, period. No matter whether she's on television, in film, or on stage. Of course, she made history this past fall when she became the first African-American actress to win the Emmy for Outstanding Lead Actress in a Drama Series, so bravo to her. She's been nominated twice for an Oscar. Hopefully she'll win someday. I think she will. And on stage, she's already won 2 Tony Awards. So this is just a very talented woman who I think will be around for a very, very long time. And I certainly hope that's the case. Favorite dramatic TV actor? Admittedly, I haven't watched Empire as much as others have, but, Terrence Howard, I've always liked him in other roles he's done throughout the years, and from what I have seen of him on Empire, he's really good, so he'll get my vote here. This got a favorite dramatic TV actress. I kind of already talked about why Viola Davis is amazing when I voted for How to Get Away with Murder for favorite network TV drama, and for the same reasons that I stated there, I'm going to pick here. I'm going to pick her here for favorite dramatic TV actress. For favorite cable TV comedy. Admittedly, I haven't really watched too much of any of these, but It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia is the most familiar to me, so I'll vote for that one. For favorite cable TV drama, this one I'm easily going to go with Bates Motel, because not only is it interesting to see a prequel to the movie Psycho set in the modern day instead of like back in the late 1950s, but it also serves as a great vehicle for Freddie Highmore, who was who back in the day used to be very famous as a child actor for movies like Finding Neverland and Tim Burton's version of Charlie and the Chocolate Factory, where he played Charlie. He's now like 22 or 23. He's not that much younger than myself. But the fact that he's managed to transition from playing like these sweet, innocent roles to playing one of the most infamous fictional serial killers of all time shows that he has great range as an actor and that he'll probably be around for a long time to come. For favorite cable TV actor, I'm going to pick Taye Diggs, because Murder in the First, it's a pretty good police procedural show, and Taye Diggs actually grew up in the Rochester area close to where I live. And of course, Taye Diggs, many theater fans remember him for the fact that he was he was part of the original Broadway cast of the musical Rent, and he used to be married to Idina Menzel, who was also in Rent and who, of course, gained huge fame later on for the musical Wicked and for being in the movie Frozen. Alright, favorite cable TV actress. And interestingly enough, 3 of the 5 actresses from this list are from the show Pretty Little Liars, which is like a very popular show on ABC Family, so one of them is probably going to win, but I'm going to go for Hilary Duff because she's currently on that show Younger on TV Land. That, after her time on the Disney Channel was over, her popularity kind of faded away, but she was still around, acting and whatnot. But now that she's kind of come back into the spotlight with this, it shows that being a Disney Channel star in your youth doesn't automatically mean you're going to suffer career-wise as an adult. So I'll vote for her there. Favorite premium cable TV show. For this, I gotta go with Homeland because Claire Danes is absolutely phenomenal, and Homeland's probably the most realistic of these shows in showing scenarios that probably could have easily happen in real life. And favorite premium cable TV actor. For this, I gotta go with Matt LeBlanc because I know he's hilarious playing a parody version of himself on his current TV show episodes. For favorite premium cable TV actress, Claire Danes, gotta go with her because, like I said, she's part of the reason why Homeland is such a great show. Well, actually, she is the reason why Homeland is such a great show, because if it weren't for her always being up to her A game acting-wise, that show probably would not still be on the air. Favorite TV crime drama. They're all very similar into what happens in each of their episodes, so I had to just close my eyes and randomly pick, and I ended up picking Bones. For favorite TV crime drama actor, I'm going to go with Jim Caviezel. Most people remember him best as for playing Jesus in The Passion of the Christ, and now he's fighting crime on Person of Interest. So think about it this way: Jesus is the one who's cleaning up the streets on that show. For favorite TV crime drama actress, I'm going to have to go with Mariska Hargitay because, Law and Order Special Victims Unit, I think it's now in its 17th or 18th season on NBC, and she's been there from literally the very beginning, and the fact that that show is still on the air after all these years is probably a great testimony to her acting on it. So for favorite network TV sci-fi fantasy show, I easily got to go with Once Upon a Time here. That's a huge guilty pleasure show of mine, and I always find it fascinating when you can make stories involving pretty much every iconic fairy tale character living together in the same world. I guess my interest in the show kind of was piqued by the fact that I starred in a production of Into the Woods when I was in high school. Her favorite cable TV sci-fi fantasy show. I'm easily going to have to pick Game of Thrones for this. I apologize for my dogs barking in the background there. For favorite sci-fi fantasy TV actor, I'm going to go with David Tennant, because he used to be Doctor Who. For favorite sci-fi fantasy TV actress, I'm easily going to go with Jennifer Morrison, because it's always fascinating to see how her character of Emma Swan changes on Once Upon a Time. And for favorite competition TV show, I'm going to have to go with The Voice, even if I don't always listen to the music of the actual judges on the show. I always find it fascinating to see which judge will end up having the winning contestant at the end of the season. For favorite daytime TV host, I'm gonna have to go with Ellen DeGeneres. She's probably gonna end up winning, but you can't top her brand of comedy. For favorite daytime TV hosting team, this is a very hard choice for me to make, but I'm going to end up going with Live with Kelly and Michael, because back in 2011 when Regis Philbin announced he was retiring, the big question on everybody's mind was who the heck can replace Regis Philbin, because he's like the most iconic daytime talk show host of all time. But Michael Strahan has really stepped into Regis Philbin's shoes, I think, quite comfortably, and I think he and Kelly Ripa do make a very nice team, so I'll vote for them. For favorite late night talk show host, this was insanely hard for me to choose, because all five of these men are brilliant in my opinion. However, in the end, I'm ultimately going to go with Jimmy Kimmel, because I like how he's not only funny, but I also like how he'll use his show to make a serious point about serious issues from time to time. If I could vote for all five of these people, I would, but in the end today, it's going to be Jimmy Kimmel that gets my vote. For favorite streaming series, this is easily going to go to House of Cards, because, it's Kevin Spacey. And whenever Kevin Spacey is playing a villainous role, like he does in House of Cards or in any of his movies, you can't help but just watch him, because it seems like Kevin Spacey was literally born to play villains. For favorite actor in a new TV series, I'm gonna have to go with Josh Peck, because I grew up watching Josh Peck a lot on TV. First with the Amanda Show, and then with Drake and Josh. I haven't really had a chance to watch too much of Grandfather, but still, Josh Peck to me is the most recognizable of those other nominees. Yeah, I know about John Stamos and of course him being Uncle Jesse on Full House, but still, I was very young when Full House was on the air, so I didn't have the memory of actually watching new episodes as they aired. Favorite actress in a new TV series. 3 out of these 5 are from Scream Queens, but I'm gonna go with Jamie Lee Curtis, because Scream Queens is kind of meant to be a parody of the horror movie and TV genre, and Jamie Lee Curtis herself is considered one of the greatest horror icons of all time, so she gets my vote. Alright, next up, favorite animated TV show. I'm gonna have to go with The Simpsons, because even though I know a lot of fans feel that they stopped making good episodes a long time ago, they are an iconic part of American pop culture, so for that reason I'll give them the vote. Now for favorite new TV comedy. A lot of more nominees here than we usually have, but I'm gonna go with The Muppets, because Same reason with The Simpsons, the Muppets are an iconic part of American culture. And then finally, favorite new TV drama. I'm going to go with Supergirl, since that's kind of that seems to be the only good show from this list of nominees. A few of them have already been canceled since the nominations came out, and Supergirl, out of all the ones that remain, Supergirl seems to be the only one still getting good reviews from TV critics. Alright, now on to the movies. Last section, and my favorite one of all of them, because above all, I love movies more than anything else. What? Alright, favorite movie. This is a very easy one for me. I'm definitely going to go for Inside Out, because it is not only one of Pixar's best movies out of their entire series of movies, but Inside Out is just one of the best films of the year, period. Next, favorite movie actor. Out of all these, I'm going to go with Johnny Depp, because he had one of the best comebacks in recent years that I've seen of any actor, with his amazing performance in Black Mass as James Whitey Bulger, one of the most notorious mobsters in American history. Favorite movie actress. Out of all these, I'm going to go with Sandra Bullock. She just has that every woman persona that I think it makes her really endearing to a lot of people, including myself. Favorite action movie. Admittedly, I haven't seen any of these in theaters, but the one that looks promising out of all these is Jurassic World, since everybody imagined this movie would at least be successful at the box office, but nobody imagined just how successful it would be. So for that, I'll give Jurassic World my vote. Alright. Favorite action movie actor. Out of all these, I'm definitely going to have to go with Dwayne Johnson, because the situations he gets himself into in his action movies, especially with the disaster movie San Andreas, it's like, how the hell does he make it out of that alive? But he always does, and he always looks like a badass in the process. So Dwayne Johnson gets my vote. For favorite action movie actress, this is a real easy choice for me. I'm definitely going to go with Charlize Theron, because what she did in Mad Max Fury Road was just so incredible that it's hard to imagine how good that movie would have been without her. I think without her, the movie still would have been good, because there were so many other great things in it besides her performance. But her character Furiosa was probably one of the best action movie heroines, not only in recent years, but maybe of all time. Like right up there with Ellen Ripley and Princess Leia. Favorite animated movie voice. This is very easy for me. It's definitely going to be Amy Poehler for Inside Out, because her performance as Joy in that movie just instantly makes you fall in love with the movie right from the very beginning, and she holds that movie together, and she makes you care about absolutely everything that goes on. Favorite comedic movie? I'm going to have to go with Trainwreck on this one because I was pleasantly surprised by it. Not that I didn't think it was going to be a bad movie, but considering that raunchy humor isn't always my favorite style of comedy, I was quite pleasantly surprised that while this film did indeed have its raunchy moments, it was also very heartfelt, and I think it was also very serious at times when it needed to be in its portrayal of a budding relationship. Favorite comedic movie actor? For this one, I'm going to have to pick Robert De Niro because out of all the actors on this list, he's the only one I've seen who actually gave a somewhat comedic performance that didn't result to stereotypes and cliches or just making me feel annoyed. Whereas a lot of the other actors in this list, like Will Ferrell and Kevin Hart, unfortunately did do those kinds of things. For favorite comedic movie actress. For this, I'm going to have to go with Melissa McCarthy, because while I think Amy Schumer did do a very great job in Trainwreck, that's the only thing I've seen her do. I haven't seen an episode of her show, Inside Amy Schumer, though I hear it's really, really good, and it did win the Emmy for Best Variety Sketch Show, so once the new season starts airing on Comedy Central, I think that's where it airs, I'll definitely make sure to check a few episodes out. But for this, I'm going to have to go with Melissa McCarthy, because Melissa McCarthy, I've always had mixed reactions to her movies. Some of them I've really liked, others not so much. Um, for instance, her movie last year, Tammy, I did not like her in that movie at all. Her character was not only extremely annoying, but also quite unlikable, and in a lot of cases, a really bad person. Sure, she had a lot of problems, but then the things she did not make you sympathize with her at all. However, in her most recent movie, Spy, she was not only hilarious, but her character was also someone that you could easily root for. So, for that reason, I'll give her the vote here. Favorite dramatic movie? This one is very easy. I'm going to go with The Martian because not only is it my favorite movie of the year so far, but in what could have easily just been another cliche sci-fi movie, The Martian actually takes a scenario of an astronaut being stranded on Mars and actually makes you feel like that could realistically happen in the near future. Alright, favorite dramatic movie actor. For this, I'm going to have to go with Matt Damon, mainly for his performance in The Martian, because being on screen by yourself for the majority of the movie and managing to continue to hold the audience's attention without coming across as bored or annoying, that takes a lot of effort. And Matt Damon has, for over 20 years, proven himself as one of the best actors working in Hollywood. And the fact that he's still as popular now as he was nearly 20 years ago is a testament that he is a true movie star of the modern era. And for that reason, he will get my vote. Favorite dramatic movie actress? Out of these, I'm going to have to go with Kate Winslet because not only is she easily the best actress of these five nominees, but like Matt Damon, she's given so many great performances of the last 20 years that she has made herself a true movie star of the modern era. Favorite family movie? Uh, like I did with favorite movie of the year, I'm going to have to go with Inside Out. Not only is it the best family-friendly movie out there, but it's also one of the best movies of the entire year. And finally, the very last category, favorite thriller movie. Although many of these thriller movies, like I mentioned in my nominations video, got really bad reviews. But ultimately, I'm going to go with Unfriended because, while I still had a lot of problems with that movie, I do give it some props for trying to create a message about the danger of teen bullying combined with social media. So for that reason, I'm going to give it my vote. And with that, I have finally cast all my votes for the 42nd Annual People's Choice Awards. Be sure to let me know in the comments section whether you agree or disagree with my votes. Let me know who you voted for in the People's Choice Awards, and we'll see who ends up taking home all the trophies. Thanks for watching, and I'll have more videos up soon. Bye.